Hello, algebra students. Mr. Lawrence here, and Nadia had emailed me on Monday afternoon asking if I could make a video helping with exponents a little bit. And so this is that video. Please watch it. Please take notes. Please pause and try the problems yourself. Hey, if you're so bold right now, pause it. You can see 5 of the problems. See if you can do them right. Many of you can. If not, that's okay. That's what the video is to help supplement. All right, so first of all, what does a negative exponent mean? A negative exponent means that I need to use the reciprocal. Sorry, I just had a problem pop into my head that I wanted to put on here. All right, so I have a negative exponent right here. Let me get my highlighter out. You know how much Mr. Lawrence likes his highlighters. There we go, a negative exponent. I need the reciprocal of 9. Well, the reciprocal of 9 is 1/9. So this is going to become 1/9. The only problem is, it's still got to be to the second power. When I take the reciprocal, the sign on the power changes, right? And so now I'll do 1 times 1 and 9 times 9, and there we go. 9 to the negative second power is 1/81st. Pause the video, see if you can do number 2 on your own. It's very similar. All right, well, here comes the solution. Hopefully you got 81, right? If I take the reciprocal of 1/9, I get 9. It would be to the second power. 9 squared is 81. 9 times 9, right? Okay, number 3. Go ahead, pause the video, see if you can do it on your own. Okay, my answer is going to be 16/9. Can you tell me how I did it? I took the reciprocal of 3/4, which is 4/3. That causes the exponent to become a positive. And then I squared 4. 4 times 4 is 16. 3 times 3 is 9. Number 4 should be easy by now after these examples. Plus, we've been seeing it every day in class, or some version of it, right? So go ahead and pause the video. Why don't you pause the video on 4, 5, and 6, and do them yourselves, and unpause the video when you're ready for the answers. Okay, for number 4, I got 1 over x to the power of 7. Notice that the exponent has to change signs. Have you written that down? Have you paid attention to it? That's one of the most common mistakes I see with kids, is making that 1 over x to the negative 7th. Wouldn't make any sense because you're just taking the reciprocal and then it's negative, so then you're going to have to take the reciprocal again and you leave it negative, and then you got to take it, and it doesn't make any sense. You're like a dog chasing its own tail. So you have to change the sign on the exponent, okay? All right, just highlighting places where it happens. See, the negative 2 became a positive 2. The negative 7 became a 7. Okay, if you haven't tried number 5 yet, go ahead and try it. Here comes my answer. My answer will be 9 over x cubed. And there we go. Number 6, x to the 0 power is 1. 5 times 1 is 5. The answer is 5. Remember, any non-zero number, gotta get that in the middle of the board. If you don't have this down, I don't know. You must not have been in class for a while because I write this down all the time. Any non-zero number raised to the power of 0 is 1. You know, that leads an interesting question. Do you remember doing a problem like this? I would show this to you. Let's see here. Negative 5 squared. Did that equal 25? Is that a true statement? Well, no. If you remember how to read this, on the left, we read this as the, sorry. Okay, the negative of 5 squared. That's how we're supposed to be reading it, right? So we have to do 5 squared and then get its negative. So this is not a true statement because if I do 5 squared, I get 25. Now I need the negative of 5 squared, which would be negative 25. So that's what that equals. It's also due to the order of operations. So that being said, is this equal to 1? Is it? Put that question mark. Okay, so if I read the top one as the negative of 5 squared, I'm going to read this red one as the negative of 5 to the power of 0, right? And if I read it that way, it's definitely not a true statement that negative 5 to the 0 power like that should be the negative of 5 to the 0 power equals 1. That's not true. So I have to do 5 to the 0 power, which is 1, and then I need the negative of 5 to the 0 power, so it'd be negative 1. So here's our true statement. There we go. All right, you can verify that in the calculator. If you want to do the negative 5 to the 0 power, what you're thinking is this. That does equal 1. Okay, just like up here, if I do negative 5 squared, that does equal 25. Okay, all right, just bringing that up because I know I see kids making those mistakes. All right, now we got to talk about multiplication. Now, remember, this is where Mr. Lawrence likes to get his highlighters out, right? Okay, so we have 5 times 6, and then we have x cubed times x squared. And 5 times 6 is 30. Now x cubed means x times x times x, and x squared means x times x. So how many x's are being multiplied? Well, 5. I don't want to say x times x times x times x times x, so I'll say x to the 5th power. You go ahead and try numbers 2 and 3 on your own, okay? Try them on your own. Please pause the video. If you haven't tried them on your own, do so. Do it in your notebook. Now watch my solution. All right, I'm getting the highlighters out. Here we go. Coefficients are going to be yellow. My x's will be green. Okay, and my y's are going to be this blue color here, this light blue. Oops. Okay, so now I'm going to do my yellow ones. And I'm going to say the multiplication. I'm not going to take shortcuts. Some of you like do each part of the problem differently, which doesn't make sense to me. Do it all the same. Be consistent. I've got to do 2 times 3 times 4. Well, 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times 4 is 24. Now I've got to do my x's. X times x is x squared times another x is x cubed. How do I know? Well, because there are 3 x's being multiplied. They're all x to the 1st power. Many of you like to tell me that x times x has to equal x. That makes no sense because 7 times 7 doesn't equal 7, right? 7 times 7, of course, equals 49. But you could take a baby step in there and say it equals 7 squared, right? Therefore, x times x equals x squared. Okay, got to do my y's. My y's are going to be y to the 5th times y to the 2nd times y. How many y's are being multiplied all together? Well, I've got 5 here, I've got 2 here, and I've got 1 more there. So it looks like there's 8 y's, so it'll be y to the 8th power because they're being multiplied. Okay, number 3, again, you should have already done it. I'm not going to do all the highlighters. I trust that you'll do that on your own. I know my coefficients are going to get me 30. 5 times 3 times 2. Now my x is x times x squared times x to the 4th times x to the 7th. I'm thinking I have x to the 13th power because there's 2, there's 4 more, and then there's 7, 6, 7, 13. Yeah, there's 13 x's being multiplied all together. The y's, looks like there's 2, 4, 5, y to the 5th, and there we go. Whoa, that's a terrible circle there. Can I fix it? Nope, I can't. So I'll do this, I'll do that, then I'll do that. And what did I say? That was y to the 5th. And then we'll make a prettier circle. It's not even a circle, it's an oval, but you know what I mean. Okay, now powers to powers are slightly different. Some of you like to use a shortcut, and that's fine. But remember, what does that outside exponent mean? This one right here. It means that there are 3 of what's inside the parentheses. So literally translated, this problem means x to the 5th times x to the 5th times x to the 5th, which is x to the 15th. Now again, many of you are going to go, hey, a power to a power, and I can multiply. Yeah, you can, but too many kids get mixed up with that, so I don't bother to teach it. All right, 2 squared. Oh, wait. I'm going to pause here. I want you to pause the video. I want you to try numbers 2 and 3 on your own. All right, 2 Here comes my answer. You should get 4x to the 14th. Okay, hopefully you've tried number 3 on your own. If you haven't, it's time to pause it and try it. My answer is going to be 64 x cubed y to the 6th z to the 9th. And there we go. All right, I hope that helps you, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Lawrence signing off. Have a good night, everybody.